I'm pleased to be joined by Kansas State quarterback Adrian Martinez. Adrian, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Well, it's kind of interesting to see you with purple socks, purple tie. How is Manhattan? How are you liking life as a K-Stater?
It's been great. You know, I really think the coaches and the players have done a great job of helping me transition, and I feel like I hit the ground running, so it's been really good to me.
What brought you to K-State in the first place?
Yeah, so really a combination of things. You know, the coaches, really the program, the culture, and the players. We have a really good group of veteran guys coming back on this team, and I felt like I could fit right in and also add to what they have and really take shape for a good season.
When you made the decision to jump into the portal, right, leaving Nebraska, how soon did Coach Klein or even perhaps Coach Kleiman reach out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure they were the first call I took, and it was, I mean, instantly announced at 12. It was 12:05, and I was already on the phone talking with teams and you know, interacting and forming relationships. And I mean, that was a good feeling too, because there's a little bit of unknown when you put your name in the portal what that reaction is going to be like. But right away, and then even that night, I met with Coach Klein for dinner, and you know, hit the ground running with that relationship too.
That night, so Lincoln, quite a bit of ways, right?
Yeah,
from Manhattan.
It's a decent. It's only 2.5 hours actually,
Okay.
but
Okay.
he was. I think he might have been in Kansas City or he was somewhere else, and he literally, as soon as he saw that, he drove all the way to Lincoln and met me for dinner. So I think even that kind of show was enough right there in itself to know that like they really wanted me to be on their team.
It's college football, and it's very nice to be recruited.
Yeah,
I mean, there's nothing that beats that feeling. But once you have that dinner and you sit down, what is he explaining to you? What promises might he have made, if he made any at all?
And that's something I really took notice of as well, because you know, recruiting can be tough. It can be tricky, and there are a lot of promises that aren't necessarily fulfilled, right? And they didn't promise me anything. They told me the situation, how it was, why they wanted to recruit me, and what they were expecting, and it was fully transparent. And that's something I really appreciated. You know, anytime someone's guaranteeing you a spot, I wouldn't believe them, you know, and they were honest, and, you know, hey, you got to come in and compete. We feel really confident about you, really confident about this team, and we'd really like for you to come join us. And I think they did their part, and I did mine, and feel really good about it all.
Once you make the decision, you're ingrained in what I think is one of the great hamlets of college football, because in Manhattan, it means something different to be playing for the Wildcats. Do you have an experience that you can share with us? Maybe it was out and about where you got to feel the full force of what it means for you to be the quarterback at Kansas State.
Well, I'll say this, you know, it's really a daily occurrence. You know, when you're in the town, it's such a small college town community feel where they really make you feel at home, which is nice for me, but also there's always eyes on you. You're always recognized, and that's part of it, you know, and I've definitely felt the love since being in Manhattan.
Was it hard at all for you to make the decision to go into the portal and leave Nebraska, where you played 4 years of football?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I have family there, you know, like not blood, but, you know, been through some stuff with those guys and teammates and friends for life I have over there, some of my best friends, and felt a real sense of responsibility for Nebraska and the Nebraska program. So it wasn't easy to leave, but I felt like it was the right time to seize a new opportunity and something fresh, you know, to drive me in a new way.
Last year was eventful for Nebraska football and for you in particular. It's sort of a dubious honor, but I do want to raise it. The best 3-9 team in the history of college football, the close games you played, the ways in which it just didn't go well for you. I mean, it's a team that just as easily could have gone, it feels like 9-3, if things go your way. One of those games in particular I want to talk about, Oklahoma. Do you ever think about throwing that pass that DJ Graham made his uncanny circus act catch to do?
You know, I really don't even think twice about it. What's funny is I see it all the time, and I'll get tagged in like a video they post on Instagram or whatever. But it was 4th and 18, and I mean, you got to give someone a chance, right? I mean, good on him. He made T-shirts, and we all laughed about it, and like I still laugh about it. It's funny, and he made a great play. I'm glad. I don't think he won Play of the Year, so I don't have to watch it too much, right? So it is what it is. It's part of playing football. Guys will make plays. I mean, I'm used to it. Shoot. Watching the draft every year in the Big Ten, you'd get a D-end coming out in the first round, and sure enough, I'd be on that highlight tape. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. Don't get too worked up about it, and, props to him.
I will say there are many Oklahoma fans that probably believe what you believe, which is, hey, you should have batted it down. It's like, no, I would have loved that. Everybody would have enjoyed that. But that was an example of a game that it felt like you guys had an opportunity at Nebraska to win. I mentioned that you had those opportunities. How have you used those opportunities to make yourself a better quarterback?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely been a learning experience. And I don't believe you can truly succeed or feel how great it will feel to succeed without the failure. And, I've definitely experienced that, and I've grown more as a person than a football player, which I value. I think that's the important piece, and looking to bring all those experiences, mostly the positive ones, to K-State and learn from them. They've had a lot of success, and they've beaten Oklahoma, and they've gone to bowl games and won bowl games, and stuff like that. I'm really looking to learn from them about, and I feel like I'm ingrained in that culture.
I'm sure they're looking to learn from you too, because again, being the Big Ten West, Iowa's formidable, Minnesota's formidable, and that's before we even talk about the Big Ten East. Is there a team, perhaps it's Oklahoma, that you were excited about playing against as Kansas State quarterback?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say Oklahoma. Getting that rematch, getting to go back and play at Oklahoma will be a ton of fun. And then just playing new opponents. I did play for 4 years in Nebraska and played in the Big Ten West, and you see those guys a lot, and you get really familiar with them, and they get really familiar with you. So I'm excited for some fresh blood, different teams, different element, different environments, and really get a new experience here in the Big 12.
Hey, man, you're going to see a lot of the same as what I think is going to happen, because the similarities are also there between what Nebraska football means in Lincoln and what Kansas State football means in Manhattan. And I'm looking forward to you getting to experience Bill Snyder Family Stadium, because it's a fantastic environment. Alongside you, though, is a dynamo. A for real superhero, one of my short king all-stars. As I'm a short man, Deuce Vaughn has a special place in my heart. How soon did you get to understand, oh, this dude, he's a little bit different?
Oh, I mean, right away. And you watch film, you see it across the nation, right? You can keep track of who the dudes are. I mean, he's an All-American. His resume speaks for itself. But I will give a quick example, like just a simple 10-yard out. You have the guy, some guys will jump up and catch it. Some guys will make it look difficult. No matter where you put the ball, Deuce somehow makes it look easy. And I think that speaks a lot more it's just such a simple thing, but everything he does is smooth. And he's a tremendous leader, and guy can do it all on the football field.
Coach Kleiman came in with a tremendous resume himself, right? Having won those national championships at North Dakota State. It's been a little bit more difficult in the Big 12 than it has been for him at Bison. But one of the things I really admire about him is the way that team plans, the way that they go into practice, the way that they execute on the field. How has that manifested for you? Are there some examples you can point to about how detail-oriented that staff can be?
Yeah, I would just point to the special teams emphasis. Whether it's walkthroughs, meetings, there's a real emphasis on special teams. And, they're one of the best units in the country, and they pride themselves on that. I think even just that small detail and how much that matters when it comes to winning games really shows how much that staff cares about every little thing.
Coach Klein has an opportunity, right, in you to show what he's capable of as well. How exciting was it for you to say a man who wants to put himself to the test by bringing you in and expects you, right, to operate at the high level, well, that he did, quite honestly. Like, he is a legend in and of himself at Kansas State, so him to tap you to say, hey, no, I think you can do this too. I think this is there for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's powerful. The guy, Heisman finalist, won the Big 12. He knows what it takes to do it at Kansas State. And, that speaks for itself. And you wouldn't know it necessarily by talking to him. He's an incredibly humble guy. And he's already taught me so much about life, which I really appreciate. I think he has a unique ability to connect with his players. And, I really enjoyed that. And what's cool being a part of this first year is you get to work with him. And I think that's what's been awesome for me is it's coach and player, yes, but, he's asking me things. I'm asking him things, and it feels like there's a mutual respect there.
Has Coach Kleiman been able to differentiate himself to you with other coaches you've had? I mean, I'm going to go ahead and mention Scott Frost, as far as I'm concerned, won a national championship before he took the job at Nebraska. He was very well known for what he did at Oregon. We all know about him as a player. there are similarities, I think, between the two, but I would like to hear you talk about the differences.
Yeah, I'll say this about Coach Kleiman. Not necessarily that Coach Frost doesn't have these traits, but I really think he's done a great job of connecting with players and has the respect of the team and knows guys on a personal level that goes a long way with them. And he's done a great job of building the culture. I think there's a standard that is really well known that he enforces that guys respond really well to. And yeah, he comes from a winning background, and guys know that, and he's really passionate about winning and taking care of us, whether that's workouts or on the field. He's very present in that moment. I think that speaks a lot about him. I really enjoyed playing for Coach Frost. I will say, he was a player's coach and a guy who was really, really cool to be around.
Adrian Martinez, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm pleased to be joined by Kansas State tailback Deuce Vaughn, Christopher Matthew Vaughn II. Deuce, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's just a surreal feeling to be here today.
Well, I'm excited to talk with you because this is my first opportunity to do so. And I've told everybody who will listen, you one of my superheroes. You a short king making it happen.
Yes, sir.
So I want to start with this. Did you know you are the only first-team All-American in this conference from last year?
I did not know that, actually. I did not. That's pretty crazy to even think about. It really is.
And as an all-purpose player, I might add, so all over the map. But I say that to lead into, did you expect, well, obviously you did not expect to be a first-team All-American going in 2021, or did you?
It was a goal of mine.
Okay.
It was a goal of mine. I knew I wanted to be a really good football player coming into my sophomore year to build off of my freshman year. I had different goals, but the end result was always to be a really good football player, whether that meant I had this accolade beside my name or not. I wanted to be the best football player I could be at Kansas State this past year.
And now that you have achieved that stature, right, what is left for you to do, you think, in this sport?
Continue to grow. Continue to grow as a football player, continue to grow as a leader, as a competitor. And, man, there's always another game to play, always another practice, always another lift, always another way to grind. And that's what I'm excited about. There's just so much more space to grow in my game as a person, as a leader, and I'm so excited for that.
I think that we also need to just linger a little bit on that, just what you accomplished last year and what you've accomplished in the first 2 years at Kansas State. Because I was looking up some stats, because that's what I do. I look at stats. But there's only one other player who has averaged more yards per play from scrimmage in the Big 12 than you have. And the guy who is just ahead of you is Vince Young. He's at 6.9. You're at 6.8. I believe Kennedy Brooks has a record 7.0. So when you hear that stat and you hear those numbers and you hear those men mentioned, what do you think? Humbling.
Unbelievably humbling to be mentioned in a sentence with Vince Young, one of the greatest football players to ever play the sport. Man, it's surreal, and yeah, you understand that you still have a lot more work to do, but it's a really cool feeling.
Now that you are a known commodity, I say you're a known commodity. I think you're one of the most slept-on players in all of college football, because the number of people that happen upon, wait, first-team All-American at tailback Kansas State? Yeah, absolutely. He's been tearing people up, and now they know. If nothing else, they saw what you did against LSU in the bowl game. What do you think that did for Kansas State as a program to get that win against a team that was quite literally winning national championships just 2 years earlier?
Absolutely. I feel like it kind of put us on the map in a sense. We were always known for being that underdog, that gritty team, Kansas State. That's what we're known for, and we're always going to keep that close to us, because that's exactly who we are. But I feel like we have a really, really special team this year, and we're getting really excited as fall camp starts to come around and season start. That, man, we have a chance to do something really special. And the LSU game this past year in the bowl game was just the beginning, and we have guys that have left the program since that game. We've had guys come in, and it's all about the culture that we're building here, and that's exactly what we're going to fall back on as we get into the season, as we get into the dog days of the year.
You're adding what I think is a really talented quarterback in Adrian Martinez, who also brings 4 years of playing in the Big Ten at one of the most storied college football programs ever. What, if anything, have you learned from him since he arrived in Manhattan?
I've learned how to be a leader, first and foremost. He's a natural leader. He got here in January. You kind of tell he has an it factor. He meshed and gelled into the team seamlessly in a sense. It's been 6 months, but it feels like he's been with us for the past 4 years. Just the way that he's communicated with us, the way that he has brought guys along, even though he's already been here for 6 months. If he's watching film, he's letting people know. And then we're going to go up there and watch film with him. If he's outside throwing routes, he's going to let people know. We're going to be out there with him. So just how to be a leader, not only vocally, but also just in your actions and the way that you pull people along with you. And sometimes somebody may be having a day, but you're still going to pull because you understand that you're going to need them whenever it comes to week 7, week 8 of the season. The work that you put in now is going to be a testament to how you play in the fall.
Did you always want to be a tailback?
I did, actually. I grew up watching Barry Sanders, so, I mean, the elegance, the magic that he created on the football field, it led me to want to be in the backfield. But when I was younger, I was always catching footballs and stuff like that. So receiver was always like the glamorous one, but I knew I always wanted to be in the backfield.
Adrian paid you a compliment. I was asking him to explain, when did the full force of Deuce Vaughn introduce itself to you? And he's like, on a 10-yard out, he just made it look easy, catching the football. So it shows, right? It shows what you like and how you like it and how you work at it. But that's also Kansas State football, right? When I think of Kansas State football, it is, no, we're going to show up with a rock. We're going to hit you in the head with it. And we're going to see if you fight back. Does that mentality mean something to you, or am I getting this wrong?
No, absolutely. Our motto is pound the stone. Every single day you wake up, and you're not going to get better. You're not going to be exactly where you want to be in 2 days, in 3 days. But you have to wake up, you have to pound the stone, pound the stone, pound the stone. Those are your goals. The stone is your goal. You're pounding at it, you're pounding at it, you're pounding at it. It feels like, man, we're not really getting anywhere. Before you know it, a month, 2 months down the road, you've been pounding. It's going to break. You can grab another stone, you can put it there, and keep pounding again. That's really our motto. That's how we do things here at Kansas State. We wake up every single day, and we say, we're going to get 1% better today. We're going to get that much better today. Before you know, you're going to build on that and build on that and build on that, and you're going to do wonderful things because of it.
You were not an unknown commodity in Round Rock. Like, I know about you. I'm from the university. Well, I say I'm from the university. I'm from Tulsa. I went to the University of Tulsa. But I keep my ear to the ground in the area. Right? So when you decided to commit to Kansas State, I think you turned a bunch of heads. So I would need to ask you, what went into that decision to end up being the dude who picks Kansas State coming out of Texas?
Absolutely. My recruitment, as far as whenever I was in high school, was, I mean, pretty lack thereof in a sense, just because of size, and wasn't a fit in a couple of programs' minds because of my size, and I've been told no, and we're going to go in a different direction because of it, and it never deterred me. It was never something that I had any resentment or ill will to any programs because of it. I understood the game. I understood the politics behind it, but I knew that there would be one team that gave me an opportunity to be who I was as a football player, and Kansas State did that. I'll never forget getting that call from Coach Anderson, Coach Kleiman, and them pretty much telling me they believe in me, telling me that they're not going to change anything in their offense. They're going to throw me right in as a running back, and they're going to use me in a whole bunch of different ways. And all I had to do was come out there and prove to them that I'm the football player that they think I am. And I can't even put into words the amount of gratitude I have for them for giving me the opportunity, and then just let me go out and do what I'd love to do. Let's play football.
Coach Kleiman tried to slow play me about this time last year. I'm like, okay, what's going to stop you from handing the ball to Deuce 7.5 yards deep and say, hey, go do something with it? We're going to try to ease him in. You know, we don't want to overuse him. 235 rushes, 1,404 yards rushing, and then whatever you did receiving the football, catching the football. Who prepared you for that sort of workload? And what is the strength and conditioning like at Kansas State?
So actually, Coach True and his staff actually got in around springtime this past year, the year before my sophomore year, and completely changed our bodies as far as the way that, I mean, my body looked going into my sophomore year compared to my freshman year is completely different. And same with everybody on the team. The work that we did inside the weight room, out on the football field with our strength and conditioning staff was hard. It was tough. It was grueling. But you understood the why. You understood that whenever we look back, we're going to understand exactly why we're doing all of this. We're going to be like, man, I can see a physical change in my body. I feel faster. I feel stronger. And I'm ready to go. And that's exactly what happened. So I have to give my utmost thanks to those guys in the strength conditioning staff, but also myself, taking care of my body every single day. I pride myself on that. Get in the cold tub every day, get in the Normatex, stretching, cupping, whether that be scraping, all types of stuff every single day. I mean, countless hours put into it to make sure that whenever I get to Saturday, I'm going to be getting hit 30, 50 times a game, make sure that my body's ready for it, and then waking up on Sunday, understanding what's hurting, and then taking care of it throughout the week to get ready for the next Saturday.
I realize that a lot of people that are listening and watching this are going to be Kansas State fans, so they understand. But I'm going to say this for my own sense of just being serious about it. It's cold. It's cold in Manhattan in November. It's real cold. I've covered games there. My toes have wanted to fall off. How is it that you, coming from a part of Texas that I know is hot almost year-round, adapted to that cold weather? It's not playing with nobody.
It is not. And I wish I had like a real cool answer for you, because I be cold out there. I do. But I feel like the adrenaline of just being in the game takes care of everything. It's hard to explain because, man, you come out there for pregame warm-ups, you like, man. And then as soon as the blood gets rushing, you take your first hit. Before you know it, you're so locked into the game that the elements kind of wither away as it goes along. Now, when you go and sit down on the sideline where defense is on the field, toes start to get a little nipply, your fingers start to tingle a little bit more. But man, it's just one of those things where you understand that you're bred for this. You're bred to play in any type of condition because this is the sport that you love. This is what you do. And I wish I had a clear-cut answer on how I do it, but I don't.
My last question for you. When I say the word Darren Sproles, or the name Darren Sproles, what do you think?
Blueprint. He's the blueprint for as far as a 5'6" running back, undersized guy. He's the blueprint. You saw what he did at Kansas State in the 15 years in the National Football League. He's the blueprint. He's the person that if you're a 5'6" running back, a 5'7" undersized running back, he's who you watch. He's who you study. He's the person that did it and did it efficiently for a long time. So why wouldn't you want to take after him? And man, to be able to meet him, talk to him, pick his brain, I mean, utmost fortunate for all of that. And to have him in my corner, it's surreal.
Darren was that dude when I was in high school, and I thought I would never see another tailback that reminds me of him and what he was able to accomplish. So I want to thank you for giving me that thrill of being able to watch another undersized tailback, so they say, go be great. Deuce Vaughn, thanks so much, man.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for watching this video, and remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the #1 Ranked Show YouTube channel.